So today's episode is brought to you by the letter F for failure. Yes, I'm not going to do a normal goofy entrance because the subject of today is funny enough. Hey there, this is your pal Pallie, and welcome back to Overrated. This is episode number 34. And yes, it's been quite a while since I've done an episode of Overrated. Sorry about that, I'll explain some at the end. But what you probably are looking in this video for is some hunter failure. And that's what I have for you today. Yes, this is how I burned 3 battle reses in our raid in like less than 2 minutes. So I'm gonna set this up after the fact. If you just want to be here for the actual failure, pay attention, here it comes. And I also left the actual audio of what was going on from me streaming, so you can hear my frustration. There's a little bit of cursing, so forgive me for that, but yeah, this was a night.
Yeah. More portals. That's what I like to see.
Vortex.
Yes. More mines. Move right. Move right, away from portals.
Shit. It'll be a second.
And it's falling right now.
Grab me now.
Run fire away from portals.
Shabby will be in fire.
Get ready to move the star. Use a cooldown here.
Shit, I fell off again. Fuck.
What's going on?
Get away from fire.
I'm in the middle. If you want another res.
We need to get him.
I'm going. It's fine if you didn't get it. Mostly for you. X, go. Group 1.
How many CDs?
Mines. Move right.
Shredder.
Pop up potion, you guys. Move right. Mines.
God damn it! God damn it!
That one left.
We still got it.
I think we might be out.
I got him.
I'm gonna push on this one.
Just play well here, guys. Don't fuck up.
Give me the purple hat.
Move right.
I can move him. He doesn't want to.
Skip the
Yeah,
line.
I know.
Vortex down.
I swear I'm drunk.
I was about to.
So there you go. There's me using up all 3 of our battle reses within like 2 minutes. Even worse, we wiped on that attempt. We wiped because we missed the weapons later on, and there were some other people dead, and yeah, we didn't have any battle reses left. Oops. So that's actually the subject of today's Overrated, is talking about failure and how to deal with it as a raid member, and as a raid leader, and as a guild and such. So yeah, to set this up even further, just so you have a bit of the background, I was doing the conveyor belt duty, which I have done for well over a year at this point. PTR for Siege of Orgrimmar was out like right around this time in July, June-ish kind of thing. And I like volunteered. I like hopped up on the conveyor belts for the first time, you know, while people were getting there for the first time. And I did it over and over again back then. So by the time it hit live, I was pretty darn good at it, and you know, I was just the duty that I did on my hunter. So like, I have a freaking year of practice at this. How could this happen? And you could just see, you could just see it like folding in front of you. I mean, The first one was obviously like, oh, I just barely got clipped. I wasn't quite out of the laser. I probably delayed just a little too long. Crap. That's fine. That happens. But then I get rezzed, and then it's like, okay, I gotta hurry. I gotta get back on that belt. And then I just, like, turn the wrong way and jump off the side. And it's like, oh, my God. I get another res. I get back up there. I'm like, okay, I gotta hurry. They said pop a potion, meaning they're, really rushing to make sure that they can get that weapon. I'm like, I gotta hurry. And then just as I'm, like, trying to go press E to, move to the side and dodge one of the lasers, I end up hitting R, which replies back to someone who had sent me a tell, and suddenly I'm just walking right through the lasers. Bam, there's a third death. And it's just like, oh my god. Oh my god, this guy here who has done that duty, the belt duty, so many times already, just failed utterly. Completely, utterly, just blah. And yeah. And to make it worse, we're trying to farm that boss and get to Paragon so we get back to Garrosh Heroic so we can kill him again, because we haven't yet since we killed it the first time, which kind of sucks. And we have attendance problems, blah, that's beside the point. We're trying to get through a farm night quickly and get to what we need to get to. And a few pulls earlier, this was like pull number 5 of the night. And, like, the first 3 pulls of the night, we were having real troubles getting the belt down and getting the weapons down before they got through. And we're like, what's going on? And it turns out there was another epic failure happening at the same time. Our GM, not to call him out, but our GM of the guild had been healing on Thok Heroic earlier in the evening and had forgotten to he switched specs, didn't switch gear, which I actually have done something similar. I did something similar in Firelands. That was tanking and holy gear, and that was at the time where the intellect actually made your mana pool bigger. So it was pretty obvious that I had this huge mana pool, and so for years after, people were like, oh, make sure you check your mana pool, Pallie, because you got the wrong gear on. So I know I've done it too, but he was in holy gear trying to be a ret DPS, and was like, slamming his one-handed sword and his shield against the weapons and not doing very good DPS. So once he fixed that, better pulls happen, but then, boom, here's a pull where I just completely and epically fail. And, there's different ways to be dealing with this, and on a farm night, it's of course especially frustrating. You want to get through that boss. We wanted to be done with that boss in Paragons, so we, have a whole night for Garrosh again, and just like, this crap's happening. And as a raid member, what your reaction to some of that stuff, at the very least, your reaction should be telling your group, I'm sorry, I screwed up, don't know what happened on that poll, or, yeah, this is what happened, won't happen again, or I'll try my best to make sure it doesn't happen again. And you just go from there. I mean, there's nothing more that can be done. And if it's like an epic failure that's happening more often to you, then it's like, yeah, that might be something where you need to change up what you're doing. But something like this, where it's like 99% of the time, 99.9% of the time that I've done the belts since learning them, I've not had a problem. So, why? What happened tonight? What happened? And, for the raid leader, certainly it was frustrating because 3 pulls ago, his, GM was in the wrong gear. It's like, come on, guys, what's going on? Fortunately, the pull after this one, we did down it. We got to Paragons and did like 1 pull, just messed up, and it was like we just called it for the night. It had been quite a night. But, how do you react to that as a raid leader? It's just like, some of the things, like the gear, like me failing that epically, you just have to, put your face in your palm and go, okay, that just doesn't happen. That's so rare, so weird. We brush it under the table and we move on. Maybe depending on what style of guild you are, you may give a little bit of jabbing, and maybe, you know, you can hear some of the, you can go back to my stream and hear the actual reaction after the fact, where it's like, you know, I'm sitting there going, oh man, guys, I'm sorry, I don't know what happened there. And they're laughing and joking. They're like, yeah, that was really weird. You never seen that happen to you. And they're just, you know, bantering back and forth a little bit. And certainly we were giving our GM a little bit of crap here and there. Like, you know, the pull after he figured out the gear thing, we're like, oh yeah, weapons are going down really quick. Really helps when you have the right weapons and gear on. You know, just little jibes and stuff here. Not to, you know, put the guy down and go, yeah, that was completely awful. I hate you, blah, blah, blah. But just like, all right, yeah, that, just whatever. Let's move on. We'll laugh about it a little bit, and let's go kill some Dargans. So, yeah. In those kind of situations, you sort of have to go, all right, it's just not our night. Something's in the water, whatever. On other nights, though, you could have a serious just attention problem, and it's understandable, especially at this time of the expansion. You got people who have been in Siege of Orgrimmar for a year. I think it's a year soon, maybe not quite, but yeah, we're coming up on a year for this thing, and just killing Nemricius for the, you know, 42nd time is just, people just aren't paying attention, and all of a sudden you wiped, and you're like, okay guys, let's pay attention, let's get our heads out of our butts and get this done. So, you know, I understand how difficult it is as a raid leader to decide, is that just like a, oh my god, whoops thing, or is it people aren't paying attention, we really need to focus up so we can get through, you know, what we need to do, and especially, you know, not even just referencing guilds that are 14 out of 14, but guilds who are like, you know, working on, say, Galacras Heroic or something, or trying to get through Thok normal mode, or whatever. They, too, want to get through their farm content quickly so that they can get to the place that they want to be and work on that stuff. So when you wipe on Shaw of Pride normal mode or something, you're just going, what? What just happened? And your reaction as a raid leader can turn it from, oh god, I really don't want to be here, we're all like pissed off at each other because, god, he just, or like, oh jeez, I can't believe he did that. Alright, let's get in there, kill this thing, and move on, and we'll laugh about that as we pull the trash to Galacras or something. Whatever. You can mold the reaction of your raid from what happens. So, again, much respect to the raid leaders that night for not freaking the hell out about our multiple wipes on that boss. It is one that certainly can catch some guilds. Even Garrosh Heroic guilds will still, that have had it on farm for like 3 months, will still wipe to the first transition because someone just doesn't pay attention to the interrupt, and whoops, we're all dead. So, yeah, it happens. It happens. And, you know, that's, failure happens, admit you're wrong, move on. That's it. So anywho, hopefully you enjoyed my epic failure and learned a bit in the process about dealing with failure. That's probably about it for the main subject of Overrated for today. But I do want to talk, since it's been such a long time, I do want to sort of talk about what's going on, what I got upcoming, blah, 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 all those types of things. So, you know, stay tuned for sort of, not announcements, but just catch up with Pallie, I suppose. So, first off, have sort of like a real-life thing going on, just a lot of stress, tension, etc., not like, I don't know exactly how to put this without like giving you all the situation, but it's not like someone's died or something. It's like I may have to move, may have to do some changes life-wise. Fairly significant in that respect, and I'll probably just leave it at that. Many of you who know me better know what's going on, but it's not like, oh my god, where's Pallie gonna go? It's just, yeah, I got some things going on. which is why some of these things have been irregular. Overrated has been irregular. I've been behind on boss guides. In fact, I just put out a couple more boss guides, and hopefully they'll be up on TechSpot and other places soon. But I'm very behind. They have, let's see, I think I have six bosses that I need to catch up on and produce raid guides for. And as of today, there's going to be 3 more tomorrow, so I'll have like 9 to make. Hopefully I can crank one out tonight, and that number is actually 8. But anywho, lots of raid guides to come, and I want to get them out quickly because the announcement for the release date of Warlords of Draenor is coming this Thursday. This will probably be up around the same time. Betting October 14th, maybe, or after BlizzCon. I'm kind of calling after BlizzCon. But anywho, want to get the raid guides out there so that as people are getting excited about Warlords of Draenor, they can be like, oh, let me look at the new raids and see what's all out there, and I can have guides there, and hopefully if you're working with other guilds and whatever, you can be like, oh yeah, he's got almost all of the raid guides up, and he'll have them all soon, and here's all the heroic modes, and as many mythic guides as I can get as they start testing that, and normal mode guides. I would like to do like a wing at a time or something like that, and even LFR guides. I know it sounds weird, but I would like to produce a couple guides to the wings of LFR that are going to be out. So yeah, lots going on, lots to do. And even beyond that, I don't think I officially announced this, or maybe I somewhat did, but anywho, I had my first couple shows with the Edge podcast from Blizz Pro, and I'm working with Sean and Matt and KT, who are all awesome. And that you can check out. If you want to check that out, you can go to Blizz Pro, the Blizz Pro site, or look it up on YouTube. The Edge Blizz Pro will get you to the right place, and you can just see me sitting there chatting about news of the day and whatever other topics that come up for WoW stuff. Like the episode today, we talked about the Warlords of Draenor sort of leveling speed and what that feels like, and just all sorts of other bits of news. We even touched on the Robin Williams thing where he passed away, and my thoughts and prayers and everything there are in that episode. So yeah, check that out. And especially if you're following me on Twitter, all of a sudden you might notice I've gotten like a bajillion more followers. That's because the Edge podcast is doing a beta key giveaway for Warlords of Draenor. So you have to follow the right people, retweet, blah, blah, blah. That's ending fairly soon. I'll try to get this up before that is all over, but check that out as well on my Twitter, because I'll retweet some of that stuff. But yeah, just a lot going on. And then there's real life stuff, which I obviously am paying more attention to that. Sorry to say, for WoW fans, but I hope you understand that. And just a lot of guides to catch up on. The podcast is happening, and I want to be in beta more, just hanging out and playing and doing stuff and producing more guides, but kind of need to catch up. So this episode was like part of me catching up. I want to get this one out and also have another one recorded Sunday, so the episode 35, so it sort of starts clicking back into place and everything. Because yeah, we need that regularity on things. So anywho, as always, thanks for watching, and please comment, like, subscribe. Getting close to 1,000 subscribers. I'm like 930 or something, so that'd be a cool plateau to hit pretty soon. And of course, I don't know. Yeah, lots going on. Again, always appreciate you guys watching, appreciate your comments and everything. I've got some ideas for shows coming up based on some of the comments that I've gotten on video guides. So yes, keep commenting, because that means you're going to get the content that you want. Someone asked about like level 100 talents. Someone asked about like the hunter specs and stuff. Someone asked about this and that, and I'm like, yes, I will produce that for you very soon. Let's get it. So awesome. Anywho, thanks guys for watching, and I'll close it out here, and have a good one.